Hello there, this is Kathie with Craft with Kathie. Thanks for joining me today. So all I'm going to do with this is make a line across my tote where I do not want to put ink. My transfer is actually larger than my tote, so this will let me block it off in a nice, hopefully straight line here. Maybe I should move this up so you can see a little bit more here. And this is kind of like a washi tape. So I'm just going to add another line down here to make sure that I don't get any ink on the tote this far down. And I think that'll be fine. This is a large transfer. It's 18 by 18, and my tote is only probably about 15 by about 16 tall or something like it. So definitely smaller than the transfer. I'm going to actually have this hang off the side. And let's see. Peel this off. This does feel very sticky. And I just want to make sure that I don't get it sticking to itself when I lift up. And now I just have it stuck to my fingers. Okay. So I want to place it right under this seam. Or just slightly under the seam. Let's see if I can get that straight. I think that looks good. And then smooth it down from the inside out. And you could see my placement tape a little bit down here. I could actually see it through, so I know I could stop inking. I'm stuck to the table. Hang on a sec. I could stop inking when I run into this. So let me straighten it out once again. So, modified hot mess. I might have said ombre, I meant hot mess. What I'm going to do is put the mauve ink on the flowers, and then I'm going to try and hit the leaves with the green. Maybe I'll do the green first. This is eucalyptus, and then I'll use white for kind of the script behind it. But I'm not going to be perfect. There's definitely going to be some blurring where the colors mix, and that's fine. That's exactly what I'm looking for. So let me get the eucalyptus down here first. I'm just using my stir sticks to apply the ink to the transfer on top of my tote bag. I'll use a squeegee later. Oops. Oh, thought I was off. I'm just really close to the edge. Ooh, big glob. I'm using a little stir stick to apply this. And let's see. Let's do this green too. This little bud will still be green. And I think that's about it for the eucalyptus. Oops, here's a little piece. Okay, so much for the eucalyptus. And I'm going to use the almond for the text areas. Oops, and don't I see another little bud here? But this isn't going to be perfect. It's going to blur and mix a little bit. get some more script. And I think that's probably enough. This is a rather inexpensive tote, so if it doesn't really look nice, I'm not worried about it. I'll just use it for groceries or something, right? Now, if it turns out nice, think about how this might look on a jean jacket. If you're enjoying this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I see some more leaves that I missed. Okay, and I have a couple different squeegees. That I'm going to use. I'll use the green for the small ones, I'm sorry, for the green, and then the larger for the, I have another large squeegee here, here it is, for the mauve. Okay, so let's do a little bit of this. I'm not going to be perfect with it, just kind of blended it a little bit, and then I'm going to come back with my fingers and kind of blur my colors together a little bit more. So Hot Mess. Or Modified Hot Mess, if you will. Ooh, I might have a little bit too much green here. My eucalyptus. Now, as long as I haven't mixed my colors yet, I can take off the eucalyptus, my excess, and put it back in my container. But I'm getting a little low on that. Okay, so on to my mauve. I need a little bit more here. It's a little strange here with the seam of the tote. It's a little bumpy, but I'll do my best. Now it does seem like fabric soaks up the ink a little bit more so than chalk does on a hard surface. So I'm actually adding a little bit more in here. As long as I don't get any other color ink on this squeegee, I'm fine. Otherwise, if I do, I'm going to have to resort back to my stir stick. Oh, I'm getting a little close there. Sorry, I'm wiggling around in this chair, making it squeak. What do you think about the mauve, eucalyptus, and almond on the dark denim background? I think these are beautiful colors for this fabric. Okay, I'm going to slightly moisten my fingers, not so that they're wet, just so they don't really stick when I try and blur in the almond a little bit. I might need to add a little bit more there. And I do want it to blur a bit, but I don't want to muddy up my colors. I want to be careful of that. Want a little bit of blending. I don't want them turning brown. And this is a little bit like finger painting, isn't it? Pretty much what I'm doing. Oops, I had more. Oops, missed that flower. Chalking and inking really is so relaxing, so easy to create a project in one sitting, and it really fulfills my creative needs, which just basically calms and centers me. It's a wonderful hobby, craft, and even a business. If you'd like more information about becoming a designer, comment team below. Whether a hobby or it's a side gig, let me know and I'll send you a link to a no obligation video that basically explains everything you need to know. Okay, now I'm going to remove any excess and blend this a little bit more. Looks like I'm a little light in that area. Okay, so now I'm going to need a little white there, a little light on ink. There we go. Oops, might have gotten some green on that. Okay, and the only thing with using ink is you have to be careful when you lift the transfer off your project, off your surface. You do not want to have inky fingers, which I definitely do right now, because you could actually smear or get a dollop of ink on your surface. So I'm kind of blending it together. I need to wipe this off on a paper towel. I can't return it to the jar because I have mixed colors in it. So I'm smoothing it in, making sure it's gone through the silk screen, and then scraping off the excess. And then coming back and making sure that I don't have any lines or areas that I've missed. Okay, so let me clean up my fingers a minute. For a minute, and then I'll lift up this transfer. Use my trusty little spray bottle here. I usually have a water bath for my transfers to put them in after I've used them and to remove the ink or the paste, but as this transfer is so large, my water bath really doesn't fit an 18 by 18 transfer flat. So I usually either bring this into the washroom and do it, clean it in the shower with the shower head, or the kitchen sink. I could fold it up a little bit and get it in there. Ready for the big reveal? I promise it's much better than it looks. Okay. I think my fingers are okay, so let me lift this and we'll see how this turned out. Oh, I see a little bit of almond here that looks a little thick, like a glob on the fabric. I just kind of rub that in. Okay. Voila. Oops. I have paste where I went off. I'm going to try and wash that really quick. Just a second while I deal with this transfer. Okay, now I've got, of course, ink back on my fingers. I did get some ink at the bottom. I'm going to try and wash this off, and then I will let the rest of this dry. I don't know if I'll be able to get the ink off or not. If not, I'll have to do something else with it. But basically, this is it. I need to let it dry, and once it's dry, I will make it permanent by hitting it with a heat press at 305 degrees for 30 seconds. And that's pretty much it. If you're using an iron, then you just, oh, sorry, I forgot one important piece. Put a piece of parchment paper on top, shiny side against the ink, and iron it or use the heat press. If you're using an iron, you will want to iron it for 5 minutes on each side. So then I'll turn this inside out and iron the other side using the parchment paper again. But that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section and I will get back to you. I did end up with a little blob of ink on the bottom. You can see it right here. All I did to remove it was moisten a cotton swab with water and gently rub over it until it basically dissolved, and that cleaned it up. So this just needs to be heat set and then it's done. Thanks for watching. Have a wonderful life.